Helicopters are awesome. They're like a plane that can land anywhere, and they're usually flown by people of stature, and sometimes not. But when they're black, it means they're about to take over the USA. If Henry Ford was making helicopters instead of Model Ts in 1909 and the only colour we could get is black, well, we'd all be pretty screwed. That's if you believe the conspiracy theory about black helicopters.
Black helicopter crowd really is upset.
Rumours of the black helicopters were first linked to mysterious cattle mutilations in the 1970s. The reports coincided with this book, The Late Great Planet Earth. The theory is that in the Bible, in the New Testament, where John sees locust-like creatures, they were actually black helicopters. He just didn't know how to describe them. Since then, Jim Keith has written 2 books on the subject: Black Helicopters Over America, Strike Force for the New World Order, and Black Helicopters 2, The End Game Strategy. It's hard to say that black helicopters don't exist because the chance of a black helicopter being real is quite high, but the chances of the popular theory about them being true might be a little bit lower. The leading theory is that they were to be used to overthrow the US government, that the United Nations were using unmarked helicopters to patrol the US, and the UN troops were ready to invade the United States, or it could have been part of the New World Order. Some say they're completely silent, and others say that they change shape. In 1975, Floyd Haskell, the senator for Colorado, was quoted by the FBI on reports on cattle mutilations. The bizarre mutilations are frightening in themselves. In virtually all the cases, the left ear, rectum, and sex organ of each animal has been cut away and the blood drained from the carcass, but with no traces of blood left on the ground and no footprints. There has also been reports that a helicopter was used by those who mutilated the carcasses of the cattle, and several persons have reported being chased by a similar helicopter, and some even reported the helicopters changing shape. Now, if you're a bit of a skeptic like me, you're probably thinking cattle mutilations, black helicopters, what is this all about? Well, when Mark Maron caught up with President Obama, he admitted that black helicopters are real.
Just to be clear, there are no black helicopters, correct?
There are.
Oh, okay.
There are black helicopters, but we generally don't deploy them.
Okay, all right.
We deploy them against bin Laden, for example, but we
Okay.
generally don't deploy them on U.S. soil.
In 1995, Helen Chenoweth, the Northern Idaho representative, told the New York Times, "I have never seen them, but enough people in my district have become concerned that I just can't ignore them. We do have some proof." The mysterious people in the black helicopters, well, they're most likely armed federal agents landing on properties in Idaho to enforce the Endangered Species Act. So I believe the black helicopters the president was talking about refers to the unmarked stealth helicopters used by the special forces, like the ones used in the Osama bin Laden raid, and not the UFO shape-shifting helicopters. The US Customs and Border Protection, Immigration and Custom Enforcement, the US Marshal Services, the Drug Enforcement Administration, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations all use black helicopters. So to say that black helicopters don't exist or that they aren't used by any governments would be a lie. But to say that the UN is ready to overthrow the world's superpower with unmarked helicopters might be a little bit of a stretch. But then again, who knows? But that is what conspiracy theories are about. Maybe you believe in some, or maybe you're like me and you don't really believe in them, but I think they're fantastic stories. So if you know of any, leave them in the comment section below. We might get to them next week.